Hi guys, welcome to the Benched podcast for another episode. Today we're going to be talking about who we believe could be and who should have been Ballon d'Or winners in the past and in the future. Next to me, I have Ethan Cunningham. Am I right?
Hello, YouTube / Spotify slash everything else.
I'm swimming, mate. Yeah, I'm swimming.
And
yeah, whatever.
and below we have Mr. Dortmund himself, George Bennett.
Yeah, mate. Up the yellow wall, mate. Come on. Yellow wall massive.
Honestly, Bennett, that is the most cringiest thing.
I've converted now. I'm
God, clip that. George Bennett's a Dortmund fan. George Bennett's a Dortmund fan.
That's the title for today's podcast.
Yeah,
George changes teams.
Yeah, Liverpool glory into you've heard
changes teams.
Yeah, that won't work because of Liverpool doing well at the moment. Dortmund are struggling against Bayern Munich, so really, I'm not a glory into.
Oh, you know what? I don't care.
Okay. Anyway, we'll move on.
Right.
You want me to...
So the first part of this podcast, we're going to be talking about players over the age of 24 who should have been Ballon d'Or winners. And I'm going to let George go first and tell him his player he's picked.
Okay, well, for mine, as you all know, I'm a Liverpool fan, and I feel that this player in particular deserves a lot of praise, especially... well, obviously, it depends what season you're looking at, obviously. But, I mean, if we're comparing it to, say, maybe like last season, then I feel that he was one of Liverpool's key men to get... Well, I think he was Liverpool's key man in getting the league title. And that would have been Sadio Mane for me.
Okay. Got it. Got his stats to back that up, Bennett.
Say again,
you got any stats to back this up? We're not just stating facts on this podcast.
I've got a few stats on him. So, if we look from last season, so 1920.
He had one goal.
One appearance.
Okay, so in the Premier League, he played 35 games, got 18 goals, 9 assists. Okay. Obviously, Champions League 8 or 2 in 8, but that's are we comparing this to overall all time, isn't it? Really, he scored 2 in the Super Cup, which got us the trophy. So that's obviously important in the context of the Ballon d'Or. So obviously, it's all European games and obviously League and Cup, and so he made quite a big contribution for Liverpool in that season. I mean, obviously you've got say Salah. I think Salah was the top scorer in that season, but what I think most people would associate Mane with Liverpool's main threat up front, and obviously he's more of his pace and his overall direct play when he's up against the defender. Because for most defenders, if you had the choice, they'd probably say they'd prefer Salah because of the he's not obviously he's not as fast as Mane. He's not as fast as Mane. He's not. I'd say he's not dribbling wise. I'd say Mane edges him in that regard, and obviously.
Seriously?
I think
Salah over Mane?
No, I was saying
Mane over Salah?
Yeah, Mane over Salah for dribbling, yeah.
Okay.
It's because he can use it with his pace as well. He can use it more advantageously. I couldn't get my words out then. But Salah's more of a finisher, but I think Mane offers a lot more in this Liverpool team. And I feel that should really, especially from say his Champions League run as well. That does, I think, give a big thought to why he should be a Ballon d'Or winner.
Okay, I'm not saying anything against Mane. He's one of the Liverpool players, which I do like. I'm not gonna lie, don't like a lot of them, but what are you gonna do? But my argument to the Mane conversation. Okay, the Ballon d'Or. Started in 1956. Got some background information here. It's a FIFA trophy. So obviously, because the World Cup, and in the international factor in winning the Ballon d'Or is a massive factor. I do not think Mane and Senegal is highly regarded on the international front for Mane to win a Ballon d'Or.
The problem with that is, though, you're going to find that a lot of these players that you bring up, obviously the African nations or say like lower reaches of like South America or Europe, not their international teams aren't really going to challenge for a World Cup or a Euros or a Copa America, for example. So I find it hard, like it won't be fair on them, despite the fact they've had like brilliant seasons, that they're not in with the shout of winning the Ballon d'Or, because Argentina and Portugal, if you're going to look at Messi and Ronaldo, they're always going to challenge for the major honours in international football. But you shouldn't overlook the teams that play for, say, like an African nation, because they've got like the African continent have some brilliant footballers, not just Sadio Mane, and I think it undermines them in a way that they're not being picked more, maybe for Ballon d'Or berth, really.
What are you thinking on the Mane conversation?
I think Mane's a decent shout. I think obviously if he continues to perform at a high level in the next few seasons, I think there's no reason why he couldn't be classed as a contender. But we'll have to just see how he does. I mean, he's had a good start this season. Whether he's better than Salah, I don't know. I mean, they're both very good players. On their day, world class. So I'd have to say, for me, it's hard to pick between them. So, it's a difficult one to say. But I think going back to the Ballon d'Or, I think Mane could be a contender. Whether he'll win it, I don't know, but he could be up there.
I think like the time of, even though like we'll see with like mining Kingy's options, like it would be nice to have another Ballon d'Or winner which isn't Messi or Ronaldo. So it'd be interesting.
Different continents, yeah, but obviously there's never been an Asian Ballon d'Or winner either. I mean, I know obviously their standard of football is not going to be higher. They've not really produced that many quality players, but
you've got to think as well as a factor as well. The Champions League is a factor of someone winning the Ballon d'Or, and obviously Liverpool last season they didn't go as far into the Champions League as they wanted to, so that is a factor. And who knows how far they're going to the Champions League this season? But Kingy, who do you think should win the Ballon d'Or?
This is an issue over 23 pick, is it, for yours?
Yeah, Lewandowski.
We just clarifying that was all, but okay.
Yeah, I think Lewandowski personally should win it, because I think
good show. Yeah,
I think he performed at a high level for the last loads of seasons now. Yeah, it's not fair for them to just keep giving it to Messi and Ronaldo all the time, because they're either not playing or injured, and it's not fair to just keep giving it to them. So they should. I think Lewandowski, for me at the moment, I think he's the best player in the world personally, just because of the amount of goals he scores. So
he's definitely the best striker in the world. There's no arguing it really.
No, there's not.
People might say Harry Kane, but no.
I think for a long, sorry to cut you, but I think for a long time, like it was between Suarez and Lewandowski.
Yeah,
for the best striker in the world, and like obviously I think last season Suarez didn't really perform as much as he should have done for Barcelona.
He did quite a lot, to be fair, last season from what everyone saw. I think he had quite a bad before lockdown. Didn't he have like a really bad injury which kept him out? It was basically until lockdown was finished. When he came back.
Fair enough then. But I think
it doesn't help that. But yeah,
I do think your club has a massive impact on if you potentially could win a Ballon d'Or. And
true, yeah.
It's a shame for Luis Suarez that Barcelona aren't the same Barcelona of old, and Bayern Munich is going from strength to strength, obviously, from winning so many
trophies and trebles.
Trophies, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I'd back that as well. To be fair, it's quite, for me, it's quite tight in that regard. I mean, I probably I'll probably would edge Lewandowski in that regard, but obviously we want to do separate picks so we can keep it interesting and see what everyone else thinks. So I mean, Ethan, what's your pick then for your overall?
Okay, so I was going to say Ronaldo, but I've just made a last minute change. Okay, I've made a last minute change. I'm actually going to go for Kevin De Bruyne. I've given it some. I've given it some good thought, and obviously De Bruyne, his output for Man City last season is just ridiculous. And to be quite honest, his injury, you could argue his injury record isn't as good for Man City, and he does get injured a lot. But last season, just shout out some stats: 35 appearances, 13 goals, and 20 assists for Man City. I think in the Premier League last season. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. He equalled Thierry Henry's records for most assists in the Premier League. I think he needs to be finally recognised, and the same way Van Dijk was recognised with the last Ballon d'Or. I think Kevin De Bruyne needs to finally get recognised for.
Well, debatably, he wasn't really recognised either, really, because I think Van Dijk should have won the last Ballon d'Or, really. But I'm obviously, I'd select some Liverpool fan, but I don't know what you lot would think. But anyway, I know what you're saying, because I think Van Dijk is not Van Dijk. De Bruyne, I'd say, pound for pound, is probably one of the best players. I'd say he's the best player in the Premier League at the moment in terms of overall quality and consistency. Really,
last season it was. This season he's been poor.
We're looking at last season as well, though. You got to look at Ballon d'Ors normally.
Okay. Can you say he's poor, but his output for this season: 6 games, 1 goal, and 3 assists. That's good goal contribution.
That's not that great.
He's contributing 4 goals in 6 appearances for Man City.
Yeah, but they played 7 games.
Okay, well, are you sure they played 7 games?
Well, yeah, because we played 7 and they played 7.
I could look, but yeah, carry on talking.
I agree. I agree. Last season he was definitely, but he hasn't started brilliantly this season. He's been okay, but he hasn't been. I mean, he missed a penalty yesterday. Very unlike him. So
everyone misses penalties. Penalties are a 50-50. Well, 50-50 chance. You either miss it.
I know, but
you can't base off.
Great logic there, Bennett. Great logic.
Well, it's true though. It's you can't put a player down based on a penalty miss. Sure.
No, I'm not putting him down. I know he's a quality player. I know that, but he hasn't been, I'll say, as influential as I thought he'd be at the start of the season. But he might be.
No, that's valid. That's valid.
He might be. Don't get me wrong. I still think he's the best midfielder in the league. Probably the best player in the league. Probably. And if he can pick up his form after the international break or something, then you got a shout of a Ballon d'Or player. But anyway, we'll move on to the next set category.
Well, who gonna sum up it? Who do you think's the worthy under?
Over 24. Yeah. It's not the X factor this is, but
Lewandowski. It's got to be Lewandowski.
I'd agree with Kingy. Yeah, I think. I think it's his time. Lewandowski's time.
You got to agree for me that.
Oh yeah, I do. I think it was hard to find someone besides Lewandowski who should have won it, but. Yeah,
ideally, we don't want to pick Messi and Ronaldo because that's the obvious picks, and even then, they've not really been on the top form the last few seasons, especially age as well. Age has been a big factor for them, really. They're starting to get.
Yeah, they are getting older.
We'll go on. We'll go on to the next category, which is
under 23s, wasn't it? Yeah,
under 23s. And the player I picked probably a little bit I wouldn't say out of nowhere, but it's probably not the main pick. I've gone for Joao Felix from Atletico Madrid.
Okay, interesting.
I'm gonna get some stats up for this. I'm gonna get some stats up now for Joao Felix.
I mean, this season especially, he's started to come into his own. Like obviously last week,
definitely.
He scored 2 and got an assist, didn't he? And he's been on brilliant form
this season. In La Liga, 5 goals, 2 assists in seven games. That's 2 goals in the Champions League.
Last season, he seemed to struggle to adapt to Spanish football because he went for a big fee, didn't he, from Benfica?
Last season, in 2019, he had 34 appearances in 2019 and scored 11 goals. So it's not too bad.
That's okay. It's not too bad.
That's okay, but you'd maybe expect a bit more. But definitely at the start of this season, he's been on fire. And I think if he can have a good couple of seasons, I think if he have a good 2-3 consistent seasons where he scores 20+ goals, gets a handful of assists as well, I think he could be a contender.
Where do you think his future lies, Kingy? In I think
he still needs to start Atletico Madrid under Simeone because Simeone is a good coach.
Depends how long he lasts at Atletico because he's been there for a long time now. I mean, there's got to be a point where he'd want to move on and not stay. Who knows?
I think he'll be there for another 2 or 3 seasons. Okay. Then I think. How old is he now? 22?
20.
20. So I reckon when he gets to like 22, 23, I think you might see him linked for a lot of money. I think I could see him going for like over 200 million. I could see him at Man City. I think he's a Man City signing. He is.
I can see a player like João Felix possibly if he's still going hitting the goal contribution he's hitting this season, he could be an ideal Aguero replacement for Man City when he eventually leaves Man City.
It'd be a perfect one to just come in and replace Aguero. I mean, obviously Aguero, there's debates whether this season whether it will be his last or not, and if they're fast enough, maybe when they've got the money, you'd expect City to have the money to buy him. So he did maybe go for it.
I definitely think he could be a future winner if he continues to perform, but. If he drops off, next couple of seasons, we'll look back and think, well, what I said was a bit stupid, but obviously I know that he's still young, he's got time to develop, so I believe he could be. I reckon if he does win it, he'd probably be, late 20s. So I'll say 28, 29.
Okay, yeah, interesting.
He's still got a good 8-10 years at the top so who knows what he could do in the future? Who knows? Bennett, do you want to go next or shall I?
Yeah, I can do, yeah. Mine's an obvious one, I think. Most people probably agree with me on this one. I know I'm bragging here, but come on. It's Kylian Mbappe, isn't it? Come on. Look at his career up to this point. World Cup winner, countless league and titles. Champions League finalist last season. I know he didn't win it, but it's a big step for him in his career because it's the first time he's done that before. And I mean, this season already. Well, if we look at last season, I know it was cut short by the virus because I think France ended their season prematurely. So in 20 league appearances, he ended up getting 18 goals, which is pretty good. And then. Obviously, say Champions League was a bit of a different story. It was it was more of a team effort for PSG more than anything. But I think Mbappe definitely for long. I think maybe the next couple of seasons, once Messi and Ronaldo hang up the boots, I think Mbappe will be the one to step into that fray and be the consistent winner for me. I mean, obviously, the rumour is obviously Liverpool linked with him. Whether or not it happened, I have absolutely no idea, and I don't know if I could take it at all, but.
Liverpool Football Club do not have 200 to 300 million. I'm sorry, they don't.
What if we sell, say, one of Salah or Mane, though?
Oh, yeah, you're going to get 200 to 300 million for Salah and Mane.
Well, maybe not that, but maybe we could say 130 odd and then stump the rest up. Who knows? You're
looking to get 80 million for Salah?
Nah, man, nah. Mane would probably go for quite a bit. I
need to look at this now. Mane's 28. How old Salah?
About 28. Maybe slightly older, 29.
You think you're going to get he's 28 guys. You think you're going to get over 100 million for a 28-year-old?
Well, it depends on when that's like prime, isn't it? 28's prime. He's in his prime right now. What it is? Yeah. What's prime to you? What's a prime age for you in football?
Prime to me is 26, 27. You're hitting your prime.
Nah, 20. Nah.
Yeah.
Prime is about 27, 28, 29. And then once you hit 30, that's when you start to decline, I'd say.
I'm not going to... I think Salah's hit his prime, to be quite honest. I think he's hit his ceiling.
I think I could see Mane leaving in a few years. But I don't know. PSG or Madrid seem like the most likely ones for me. I I could see maybe like a PSG. I'd say more PSG really because he may want like one more big payday before he's at the end of his career. I don't know. I mean, obviously back to Mbappe. I just think the way his career is going at the moment, it's almost destiny that he'll get Ballon d'Or. He seems that kind of player.
Well, fair enough. Who's yours, Ethan?
My argument with Mbappe is I think there is links to him leaving PSG next summer. I think the next club he goes to is going to be a massive factor in if he wins the Ballon d'Or or not. You see players like
he's leaving on the 1st of January.
Oh yeah, well yeah, but like if depending on who he goes to and it's going to be a massive factor. That's all I can say. Because we see players like Neymar. Neymar thought he was going to win the Ballon d'Or at PSG, and well, the rest is history.
I mean, the news coming out of Sky Sports today is Jim White's polishing up his tie for January transfer to announce Mbappe leaving on the 1st of January. That's all I heard.
You know what I heard from Sky Sports?
What?
I think people need to subscribe to the channel.
Right, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. I've been George Bennett, and we'll move on. All right,
guys. I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Road to 100 subscribers. We want it. We got 86 subs now. We're getting close. Could
you just imagine though when we finally do our 100 subscriber special, someone unsubscribes, we go on to 99.
We don't need to talk about that, King. We don't need to talk about that. As long as we get to 100, I'm fine.
Yeah, we all lose a subscriber, but never
mind. That's a life achievement, 100 subscribers. But we should deserve a plaque for that, to be honest. But
YouTube. You need to 100 subscribers plaque.
Ethan, lads, I want 1,000 by Christmas.
Are you mad?
You're going to pay this? You're going to pay to view bot and all that sort of stuff?
Marcus Rashford's going to appear on this podcast tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm gonna get stickers of benched and post them everywhere around West Midlands. Subscribe. That's what I'm gonna do.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
Right. Okay. We're getting off topic now. We've talked about subscribing and Wetherspoons. Let's move on, lads. Right. Okay, Ethan, you're up next. Then who's your
Wetherspoons? I never mentioned Wetherspoons.
Let's set the scene. Young man bangs in the goals for his club, for his former club in the year 1920. He scored 16 goals in 14 appearances.
1920?
Yes. Then he moved.
No, 1920 season.
1920.
Oh, 1920?
No. Yes. Then he moved and he scored 13 goals in 15 appearances in a bigger league. And this season, he scored 6 goals in 6 appearances. Erling Haaland is a future Ballon d'Or winner.
Your mic just went really weird then.
Did it? Okay, well.
So he said Haaland then. Haaland's the one you picked.
Erling Haaland is the future Ballon d'Or winner.
No, he's not. No, he is. I think he's got the potential to be.
If he can move to a massive club like Manchester United, you know.
I had Liverpool linked with him as well.
We got links with Norway. One of our legends is the current Manchester United boss.
Oh God!
I think a front three of Rashford on the left, Haaland down the middle, Greenwood down the right, or Sancho. You never know. Do a double deal with Dortmund.
Yeah, good luck, mate.
Yeah. Do you just live on a fantasy island with all your transfers?
We're in the Premier League. We win the Champions League. We win the World Cup. We win it all. We win the Nations League. But
the Magic Dortmund shirt. The Magic Dortmund shirt says Liverpool. All right, okay.
I'm saying this now. This young man, he breathes scoring goals, and if that man can win whatever club he goes to next, if he can win a league or Champions League, I think he should win a Ballon d'Or.
I have to admit, it is a mad way that he's come onto the scene. Obviously, last season he seemed to just burst on this. Obviously, he had his half season with Salzburg. He's been there obviously before that as learning how to play the game, and obviously then he made his move to Dortmund. And he seems to just settled in really well in professional football, in the man's game, and it is crazy how quickly in a short space of time he's become one of the best young players in football at the moment.
I just think people sometimes you just discover these talents. These players that just burst through, start scoring goals, and then they just get confidence.
Kingy, before he hit the heights he's hit at the moment. Like I was hearing about Erling Haaland, like he was,
you had inside knowledge, did you review?
I've got my sources.
Yeah,
I've got my sources.
George, did you not know that he was a scout for Red Bull Salzburg, Ethan?
I spent some time.
The man who only drinks orange juice is actually, or man who only drinks orange juice in his spare time.
Yeah. Did you not know he lived in Austria watching Salzburg matches?
I did. So I spent a year abroad, and I just breathe Austrian football.
I mean, we joke about it, but to be fair, Salzburg, I've got a good track record of producing brilliant players. I mean, obviously you got Haaland, obviously you got Sadio Mane, who's come from that sort of area as well. It's an interesting. That club's is quite useful. Well, I wouldn't say useful, but it's an interesting club that you're looking at really, because they're producing football.
They've also got a decent side now as well. They've also got a few decent couple of players, but oh well. But anyway, we'll get back onto topic because Ethan wants us to. But Haaland, he's got the potential to be one. And I think if he continues to keep doing these mad scoring seasons, he'll definitely be up there soon. So fair play to him.
Okay.
Because who would you pick out? What's your ultimate pick then, lads? I'm sticking with Mbappe though. You can't change me on that one.
I'm saying this now. It's going to be really controversial. I think Haaland has a higher ceiling than Mbappe.
No way. No way. Ridiculous. Mbappe's already won a World Cup. He's already halfway there.
Because honestly, with Haaland, I can see him going. Like I'd love him to go to Man United, but honestly, I think his next club obviously might be Bayern Munich, and I can see him having the same career as like a Lewandowski has.
Okay, so
and he'll be like a late bloomer.
Okay, so King, your deciding vote then. Who would you pick?
I mean, obviously I'll pick Felix, but Felix hasn't got the pull of Mbappe or Haaland. I'm gonna have to go Mbappe. I'm sorry.
It's a good choice. It's a very good choice. Fair play.
He's just Mbappe's. Don't be wrong. I just think I rate Haaland. I think Haaland's probably a better finisher, but I think Mbappe's got more to his game, so I'd say Mbappe.
If you think about it logically, Mbappe is already beaten Messi and Ronaldo in winning a World Cup. All he's got to do is win a Champions League, and he's accomplished the two main things in professional football. And he's only 22, 21 at the moment. It's mental.
Yeah. Next part, wild card. What are you saying, lads?
I'll go with mine. First, for my wild card, I'm going to pick Bruno Fernandes. And just...
That's a weird one, but go on.
Well, people say it's a weird one, but like, I was thinking to myself, well, if I pick a wild card, it's going to be a player that might have the potential, but might not. And I think personally, if he can have another good couple of seasons at United, playing the way he is assistant, and the amount I've got, in 30 games he's played for United, 33 games, he's contributing like 30 of them for like either a goal or assists. It's like a fantastic stat. So, you just got to think to yourself, and everyone says, oh, he's Bruno Fernandes, but he's been scoring goals. Like I think most of his goals this season have been like from open play. So obviously it's a bit stupid stupid that really that people call him that. So I think it's important, and looking at the stats, that you have to look and think, well, he's got to be a contender if he continues to perform the way he's performing.
It's a claim with Bruno because I think obviously this Man United side's really poor at the moment, and I think if he was at a side like a Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, for example, and like he was winning league titles and he was giving the same output he's doing with Man United at the moment. To be quite honest, I would not put it against him. I wouldn't be against him from winning like a Ballon d'Or. Honestly,
that's the thing. That's what's holding him back, though. I mean, obviously,
I completely agree. We are holding him back. He's 26 at the moment, which is not that old. It's not that old.
I mean, like you got to think maybe with I'm trying to think like a Real Madrid would suit him quite well. I think.
Very,
and maybe,
yeah.
And like if he was playing for like maybe Madrid, say if Ronaldo was still there, he's one of his idols, isn't he, Ronaldo? So it's you can imagine him playing some crazy passes over to him and setting him up.
He won't go to Madrid. He'll probably stay United, isn't it?
Yeah, but to be quite honest, Kingy, we need to be careful with what we're doing at the moment because we're really poor at the moment. And Fernandes is a very ambitious player, and like if we carry on having the same output we're having at the moment, I can see a player like Fernandes leaving. To be quite honest.
If the right price came for him, you'd surely cash in because, like, say 170, 60 million, something like that. That would be enough for
him. He won't go for that. He won't go for that because he's not. He's got age. He'd be probably a bit too old. He might go for 100 million, but not that much.
What do you think, Kingy? We had the conversation. What's the age of hitting your prime? And if it's
a lot of clubs would kill for what he's got. To be fair,
yeah, Fernandes is quality. He's in a world class bracket for me.
Maybe.
He's not far off, I don't think. I don't think he's far off that.
He's a very good player. He's a very good player.
I'd say top five. I would say top 5 attacking midfielders in the world. Fernandes is part of them.
Okay.
You got to think De Bruyne. You got to think. I can't really think of anyone on top of my head.
Royce.
Interesting.
Marco Reus.
I say Fernandes better than Marco Reus.
Reus had a lot of injury problems in his career, and that's probably held him back from becoming one of the best players.
I'm trying to think of teams that actually play. Not many teams play with cams.
That's another question. Like the number 10 position is slowly dying out of football. So
that's the thing.
He'd have to drop deeper then, wouldn't he? If he wanted to make a career out of himself, really. But
I think he could actually do that. He really could.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, it's interesting. So, Ethan, are you next for yours then? Who's your wild card pick?
Okay, so I had a really good think about this, and like with the Ballon d'Or, how we've seen like with the past winners, obviously because the Messi Ronaldo era, Kaká, Ronaldo, just to name a few. I think defensively, players don't get recognised for being
the last Ballon d'Or winner who's a defender, was that Cannavaro in like 2006?
Yes.
That's quite a long time ago now, but yeah.
But I think Ramos deserves to be one, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe he should have won a Ballon d'Or, but that's later on. That's towards the end of the podcast. But for me, a player who for me is arguably the best player in his position in the world, and I think that's Joshua Kimmich.
Oh yes, my favourite Bundesliga player.
Loves a bit of Josh Kimmich. Fair play.
He's a quality player, George. You're telling me he wouldn't have Liverpool?
I like him as well, but
he's underrated.
He's a very good player.
It actually hurts. Like,
and Bennett, just Fabinho or Kimmich.
See, it's hard because I do like Fabinho as well, but he would never win a Ballon d'Or, really. It's hard. I can't decide on that one because I do rate Josh Kimmich too.
Like
Kimmich,
with
Fabinho's good, but
he is mainly a defensive-minded player. But with like looking at his stats here, this season he's got 4 assists, 1 goal. Last season, 7 assists, 4 goals. The season before, 13 assists and 2 goals for a defensive-minded player.
He's sort of like a box-to-box type midfielder when he's playing in that position. Obviously, as a fullback, he'd go up and down, wouldn't he? Because that's the sort of like
but
that's how he play. But I can get that, yeah.
And do you know how old he is? How old is he?
Early 20s, isn't he? 24,
25.
Yeah.
So I think it's such a shame he's not put in the bracket of one of the best players in the world. I think it's actually criminal. Because he's so quality, and he's a massive factor of what Bayern are doing at the moment, and I really think Bayern are the best team in the world at the moment of what they're doing, and like I think Kimmich is like the heartbeat of that squad.
Okay, so I've got my wild card pick coming up next, and I've also gone for a Bayern Munich player, and it's probably more of an obvious pick, really. I've gone for Thomas Muller.
Oh.
The first ever Ramdeuter, I think they used to call him back in the day.
Mm.
And last season, he was as he normally is. He's a very underrated player, but last season he was phenomenal.
He's got a lot of assists, you know.
He had 21 assists last season.
Yeah.
And he's like 30s now, 32, 33.
31.
Okay, fair enough. But he's, for the age that he is, he's still going strong. Fair play to him. And obviously, he's got leadership mentality as well, because he's been at the club for a long, long time. And obviously, he's one of the few players left there that has been and done it all. He's obviously won a World Cup. He's won a Champions League before with Bayern. And now he's obviously come full circle, and he's offering that sort of guidance to, you say, like Gnabry, Kimmich, etc. And he's a good presence to have in the dressing room. And he's still got that quality that a lot of clubs would love to have in their team.
Quite honest, this season he's got 4 goals, 5 assists, and 7 appearances. So,
good.
No way, yeah.
For his age as well, it's like versatility. I think versatility is really important in football, because it allows obviously allows you to cover like injured teammates. It gives you other options in midfield and defence, etc. And I think Thomas Muller is one of those players who excels at that, really.
No,
He's good, but he'll never be a Ballon d'Or winner.
That's why it's a wild card pick. Like, no one would expect him to win it, but he deserves it in some ways.
No.
Okay.
Well, okay, you shut me down, but fair enough.
He's a good player, but he's not a Ballon d'Or winner.
That's why it's a wild card, to be fair, but fair enough. So, who do we go for then in our wild card pick?
Who is your
pick? I think it's got to be Fernandes. Personally, he's got to be Fernandes. His stats.
I'll go Kimmich.
If Fernandes performed these stats right for the next few seasons this good, he would be.
Kingy, I do agree with you, but there's a big factor.
Fernandes.
No, there's a big
factor. It's got to be Fernandes.
Man United is the factor. And
yeah, but
Man United, if they're carrying on at the rate they're going now, in the next few seasons, not going to win anything.
Okay, fair enough. But you never know, they could turn it round. So they could do that. You just never know in football.
They could, though. Kimmich has achieved quite a lot already.
His Bayern side is not going anywhere anytime soon.
They're going to be there for quite a number of years, even if once Lewandowski and Muller leave as well, because they've still got.
It's got to be Fernandes.
It's nice. It's Kimmich for me. It's Kimmich. Sorry.
Ethan.
Nah.
Kimmich
is my pick.
Kimmich is his pick. He's going to choose Kimmich unless he really believes in Fernandes, but. So
I'm sorry, Kingy. I see where you're coming from, of course, but nah, I can't.
All right, then. Fair enough. Next one.
Right. So final one, we've got a player who should have won the Ballon d'Or, and I'm going to go for Liverpool once again. I mean, I know I'm going to the world loads of times, but there's one man really, and it was one particular season for me that really he deserved it in some ways. Just for single-handedly getting this team a Champions League title, and it was Steven Gerrard. Neil Mellor. Yeah, Neil Mellor. Oh, Neil Mellor. Oh, that header. Oh, absolutely brilliant. But
anyway, it was Jersey Dudek.
Yeah, Golden Glove winner he was. But anyway, well, Steven Gerrard for me. That 2004-05 season got us the Champions League win in Istanbul. Obviously, it was that run basically epitomised what Gerrard can offer as a player, because everyone can go, oh, Frank Lampard's better than him. Paul Scholes. No, wait. No, you can have your say in a minute.
I'm going to see who won the Ballon. I'm going to say who won the Ballon d'Or that year.
Oh, okay. Who won the Ballon d'Or that year?
Good God.
You're going to have a go at me again? Lampard
was it 2004?
4-5. So it'd be year 2005, wouldn't it?
Oh, no, but 2004.
No, because 2005. That was the year he won it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
He won it in 2005.
Okay, so Ballon d'Or 2005 was given to Ronaldinho. Gerrard was third that year in the Ballon d'Or race, and Frank Lampard was second.
Frank Lampard was second?
Yep.
Ridiculous. Okay, well, they won the league. Okay, Chelsea won the league that year. Okay, I'll give you that. But the way that Liverpool won the Champions League was because of Gerrard, really. Gerrard and maybe a bit of Benitez as well, but it was mostly Gerrard. The way he played, the Olympiacos game, the actual final itself. I don't know how people can overlook that. That he was the main part of us winning that trophy, because he was one of the few players of quality in that squad, and you'll admit that, Ethan. There wasn't that many players of quality in that squad.
Oh yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree. And
he's done it. He did it since then, but he has dragged us kicking and screaming to trophy after trophy. You
gotta say, Gerrard didn't win a lot in his career. He only won the Champions League.
But the trophies that he won, he basically more or less made that happen for Liverpool.
The trophies is a factor. It's a massive factor.
It's the way that you win them as well. You got to think of it. Like, you got Ronaldinho, who's surrounded by legends. You got
Ronaldinho was quality.
I'm not dissing him, but it does help when you've got players like Thierry Henry around him and like Xavi.
It was in that.
Anyway, but you know what I mean. And like Gerrard had, who did he have? He had Dimi Traore.
Yeah,
Milan Baros.
Xavi Alonso.
Yeah, okay. Out of that squad, for me, you've got Gerrard, Alonso, Carragher, Hippier, maybe John Olorisa. Risa, yeah, he was a good player in his day. You've probably got 5 players there who are of solid quality. Maybe Garcia as well. Garcia wasn't too bad. There's 6 players.
Harry Kill.
Too injury prone.
Barros.
Crap. Or bad. That was very bad language for me.
Oh dear.
Not very good. But anyway,
Liverpool fans can actually slight you.
Well, they won't all agree with me. It's Gerrard, surely. But we'll move on then. We'll move on to Kingy's one. Who have you got, Kingy?
Well, originally I was going to say Luis Suarez.
What?
Because obviously he's had many seasons of brilliant goal scoring records and constantly at the top of his game. And I consider him the best striker in the world. I'd say from 2014 to 2016, personally.
Okay.
And then after that, I'd probably say Lewandowski's took the mantle. But I'm not going to go for him. I'm going to go for a centre. I'm going to go for Sergio Ramos.
Okay.
Because Ramos, for me, I'd say he's probably the second best defender in the world at the moment.
Who's
best defender, you know?
He's still...
No, he's not.
He's not.
Hear me out here.
You know what I think?
You let him do it at the end of something, Ethan. You've had your say. Come on, move on.
It's not a comparison. It's about foot, but obviously like Van Dijk is probably on his day. He's probably slightly better than Ramos. I mean, don't get me wrong, Ramos is a very good defender, and a couple of seasons ago, I would have put him as the highest, top defender in the world, and he's still up there now. And he's been performing at such a high level for Real Madrid for such a long time. I mean, yeah, he's had some bad games where he's got sent off or got a bit heated, but I think that's what makes him such a good player, because he's got so much passion and he knows how to get into strikers and players' heads, which gives him an advantage. So it's psychologically, he's a really good player.
Is
But
the
also as
problem
well, he cares a lot about his team. You know, he'll always like stick up for his teammates, and he's just a good all round player, and he scores a lot of goals as well. He's got a lot of goals from. He's got over 100
But the
goals.
thing
Has
is,
he
though,
scored his
that's why
100th goal? He's just scored his 100th goal, hasn't he?
that's
Exactly,
why
yeah.
I think Ramos is the best defender because he adds goals to his game, and Van Dijk doesn't do that for me.
He
Like
scores
last
a few.
season,
Was he scored? He's brilliant off corners.
no, last season, yeah, but last season Ramos scored 11 goals for Real Madrid.
You where did Real Madrid? Well,
They won the
it's-
league, didn't they?
They did.
yeah, well,
Exactly.
Van
I know
Dijk
what you
last
mean.
season.
But the
Like,
problem with Ramos, the reason why Ramos hasn't obviously won it, obviously not one because he's a defender and defenders don't win the Ballon d'Or anymore, and two, I'd say his hot-headedness probably costs him a lot of the
I
time.
agree.
That's
I
the
agree.
reason why he's not going to be considered because
That's probably the only reason why I
he's a
compare.
dirty player, but obviously defenders are like that. But then, like, there's been times where he has let his team down based on his red card record, which doesn't help. Obviously, it hasn't helped. It hasn't really affected Madrid too much because they've gone on to win everything. But it doesn't help Madrid's case at all, really, in that regard, because you think the captain would have a cool head in order to keep his team on track. But then when he gets sent off every so often, he doesn't help the team, does it really?
To be fair, though,
No.
his red card. He didn't have any red cards last season.
Well, I think
he's prime
I do
though.
think the last few years he's definitely calmed down. But in previous years, I think because how old's Van Dijk now? 27.
29.
No, he's 29 now. He's getting
Well, I think the reason why I probably put Van Dijk is probably a bit higher because I think he's got probably a bit more of a lid, a bit more of a control on his temper, and he doesn't get as many red cards and yellow cards.
He's more composed, I think, than Ramos. Ramos is a good defender, but I think Van Dijk's got more composure.
But I just think Ramos has been constantly performing at a very high level for a number of years, so that's why I think he's deserved to win it.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
That's my. I mean, I was going to go Suarez because of just the amount of goals he scored and what a player he was. He still is a good player now, and he's doing really well for Atletico Madrid. But 40 for Liverpool and start of Barcelona career. Every time he had the ball, it goes in the back of the net. So I think you could consider both of them, but I just chose Ramos because I think he's probably been more consistent for nearly 10 years now.
Okay, so Ethan, who's your wild card? Oh, sorry, your one who should have won it.
Okay, so this man is an icon in football,
non-FIFA,
and in the world.
Rivaldo.
No, he won the Ballon d'Or.
Nakata from Japan.
So
he's a true icon.
To be quite honest, this man did get beat by Rivaldo in the '99 Ballon d'Or race.
Deco.
I like Gunnar Solskjaer.
No.
the debate we had earlier on. Anyway.
Oh, don't give me something like
that. Roberto Carlos.
David Beckham. Should be Sir David Beckham.
Oh, grow up.
Because this man, in the '99 season, when he won not just the Champions League, where he won the treble, may I add. So, besides the League Cup, we won every cup competition that was available to us that year. And he got beat by Rivaldo. No. This man, in the 98-99 season, he had 9 goals and 17 assists for Manchester United that season.
What, 9 goals, did you say?
Yeah.
Well, 9 goals isn't that impressive.
Yeah, but David Beckham was never a goal scorer. He was a creator.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's similar to the Thomas Muller point, though, isn't it? Because Thomas Muller was more of a creator. That's probably why he wouldn't.
But creators should be sitting in the same light as goal scorers. And this is the man who for Solskjaer in the last minute in the Champions League final. This was the same man who whipped in that corner to Ryan Giggs. He did a shot, and Sheringham scored in the last minute for United. This man is so underrated in world football. So underrated. And he should have won a Ballon d'Or. In 98-99, he was the best player at the time. hands down. Rivaldo, he was a great player. But 98, 99, David Beckham was the best player in the world at that time. Hands down.
David Beckham was a good player. I don't know if he gets on with it. I mean, he could have done.
But I just feel United surely like a player like Roy Keane would be more likely for that because of how led his team from.
I'm going with Keane. But...
He did, but obviously Roy Keane's got his history, and
he never get picked for a Ballon d'Or.
And like he's the same as how we said with Ramos. He's hot-headed.
Yeah, hot-headed. Yeah,
he's never going to get him a Ballon d'Or.
So who are we going to pick then?
I'm sticking with Gerrard. I'm not being swayed on Gerrard.
I'm sticking with Ramos.
That final alone should be a Ballon d'Or worthy award because that is the best Champions League final of all time. He was a massive part of how they got there and how they won it. I'm not having any more.
No, guys, do you know what we're going to do?
Oh, here we go. Straw poll in description.
We're going to say, people in the comments, who do you think should have won who do you think out of the pack who should have won the Ballon d'Or out of our picks, who do you think should have won the Ballon d'Or? Let's
Gerrard, Beckham, and Ramos are the three picks you got. Vote in the comments.
Tell us in the comments down below.
Definitely. Right. And we'll let the subscribers and viewers give the final vote because we're probably not going to decide ourselves. So it'd be good for people to see what they put. But that will probably wrap it up for today's podcast. I think it's been an interesting subject to talk about.
I know.
It was one we just thought of originally because we thought we used to do like that ones when we were in the studio.
I thought of it recently.
Well, George did.
George thought. When we were that one.
Cocky, it's unbelievable, Bennett.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Do you want me to tell all the podcast episodes I've thought of? Whatever. George Bennett needs to be exposed.
Can I finish it off, please?
The next podcast, the George Bennett expose.
Yeah.
Can I finish?
Go on.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
Okay, now.
What? Swearing?
You deserve that for interrupting me.
Oh, it's so long.
But anyway, obviously, we probably won't decide, but going back, it's good to bring up these type of topics because it's just other aspects of football that you can have a good debate on. So, and as I say, if any of you think of any ideas that are watching, let us know. Don't be afraid to let us know. You can message us or anything, and we'll do it because obviously we were, a friendly, group of people that will listen to people's ideas, and we want to be able to put them in. What's so funny?
I don't know. It's looking at Benny. Go on, Kiki.
All right, just carry on. It's fine.
But obviously, we want to be able to implement people's ideas that are requested and watched into our videos. So please let us know. I hope you enjoy this video. I think the support on the last few videos has been good as well, and we definitely seem to have got good, consistent amount of views, and we're picking up with subscribers as well. So it's definitely going well for us, and hopefully by the end of the year we can
share the podcast.
I'll share it. Yeah.
100%.
But anyway, to finish off, thanks for watching, and it's goodbye from George.
I'm sorry for laughing, guys.
And goodbye from Ethan.
See you guys.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Bye.
Good evening, everybody. A pleasure and a privilege, as always, to be at Anfield, where we are hoping for another miracle like Istanbul. Shaqiri in his own half, rolls it square towards Matip.